here. This is week 2 of Lady Boss series, where I'm going to show you practical steps on how to start everything from having an LLC, getting your business license, marketing tips, tricks that I use, how to use your phone for photography. Today we're going to talk about very important websites, setting up your brand, what does that look like, what to charge for your services. So a lot of different things and nitty-gritty things that we're going to handle today. Please do not forget to go to my free website landing page, ladybossresources.com. It has over 150 pages of PDFs, ebook content, interactive workbooks that I created in there with my daughter, my full marketing content strategy on how to go full-time in your business, what I actually do, my Instagram strategy, full resources in there that has like 6 videos and all this stuff. So you're not going to want to miss out on that. ladybossresources.com. I literally have been journaling for the last 12 years and been making content and putting videos together on my YouTube channel for instances just like this. So don't forget to hop on that website to see. You're going to literally have a college education after hopping onto that website. I have everything on there, 30 plus blog posts, over 12 years of experience. Let's get started. First and foremost, let's talk about before you even start a website or start a logo or any of those things, you have to decide what your price point is. And so this is what I would do before you even post anything online. Figure out what you actually want to make per month. Like, you need to start with a goal in mind. You can't just be like, oh, I think I'm going to charge $50 for doing hair and makeup for somebody, or $100 for a photo session, because everybody else in my market group are doing that. You need to really think through, like, what are your goals? What are your personal family goals? And everybody has different family goals. You might have to do this as a main income source, so therefore you have to charge very, very high in the back end, or try to supplement your income with a lot of different passive income streams, or do something else if you can't start out, or maybe intern under somebody, or apprentice under somebody, or take workshops first, or whatever. Maybe it's a side hustle for you. Maybe it's just, hey, it's just spending money for me and my kids. Maybe it's just like, if I had an extra $1,000 a month, that would be great. How much time do I have on my schedule to do this? So you need to really think through those things first. I have down below in the ladybossresources.com, I have an entire workbook page that you can go and you can go ahead and fill out all of those, like, hey, how much do I want to earn? Therefore, how many shoots do I need to do, or how many things do I need to do? How many things do I need to sell in order to get to that goal? So therefore, each item is this much. So thinking through that, going back to elementary school and thinking through the math of it all is very, very important. Okay, then when you sit down and do all that, hopefully in the last video we talked about how to form your LLC, different ideas that you have, brainstorming like what is needed in your community, what do you love doing. So hopefully you already sat down and did that. Hopefully you already have a plan for your LLC and your business license. And now hopefully you have a plan for your budget, for how much you're going to spend, for how much you're going to make, what your goals are. Very important, because you cannot, have a business without starting with the end in mind. And I would say a lot of people that come through my mentoring program, my coaching programs, they literally do it exactly backwards. They just start, they buy a camera like myself. I just like, oh, these are my prices, because I didn't think through this kind of stuff. And then you're having to backtrack, you're having to let go of cheap clients and disappoint other people. And just off the bat, just start with the end in mind. Okay, so let's talk about after we get that, what does a website look like for you? Do you even need a website? Could you run your entire business off of social media? Yes, theoretically, you can. I've had entire clients that are just literally selling products off of Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and their entire business for the last 20 years have just been a Facebook page. That doesn't mean that you can't be successful, but is it a lot harder for clients to find content, to find information? Yes. Are they going to be frustrated going around your Facebook page like, oh, where's this album? Where's this shirt? Where's this thing? I'm not saying that you can't be successful, but ideally, if you are selling a product, if you are selling a service, having a website is a really nice overall online virtual storefront that people can find you, people can interact with you. It is a cost. There's a lot of different sites. Squarespace Wix, I'm sure you've heard of some of these. Showit, a lot of these other companies that do this. A lot of them are $200 to $300 a year, which may or may work into $15 to $20 to $30 a month, depending on what services and what apps that you plug into your website. If you are getting, you're going to have a full e-commerce store, that you're going to sell everything online, that you're going to sell everything on your Instagram page, that you're connecting products and you're doing affiliate marketing, and you're going to have this very robust site with interactive blogs and blah, 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 sure, put down the money. That's great. If you just want a landing page to have people see what you do, you're not going to interact with any blog content, you're not going to add a YouTube channel, you just want to have people see what you do, what your main services are, how to contact you in a one-page landing page. You probably don't need to spend $200 to $300 a year to do that, and you can go to Pixieset, which has a free landing page content maker. You can go to Adobe Express, that also has a free landing page maker. Canva has a free landing page maker now. You have apps like Universe, that kind of thing, that you can get a really free or cheap .com or landing page for just that reason. That can be very affordable. And I have a hack on one of my blogs on this Lady Boss Resources page that talk about how you can get a Pixieset, online landing page that just has a little bit about you, a little bit of what you do, especially if you're photography-based or content-based, media-based. YouTube.com, .com or .org or whatever, and you can just connect it to the Pixieset. You can connect it to Adobe Express, some of these other like free and or cheap places for $8 to $10 for a one-time to maybe a monthly fee, so very, very low. If you are going to do a full e-commerce store and really interact with people online and really have a very robust thing, I would highly recommend Shopify or something like that. But it is very difficult to learn. It's very code-friendly. Getting a developer is expensive. So I have friends that pay $300 to $400 a month for Shopify. Is it really worth it? I don't know. It depends on what your goals are. So that's another thing to write down. What are your goals? Okay, so write down your prices, write down your goals. Let's talk about branding and DIY logos and that kind of thing. This is my take and my warning to go to Taylor Brands or go to Etsy or go to Fiverr and get someone to make a logo package for you. Is it worth spending the $50 to $150 or more? I charge $125 for custom branding, but I'm like hand drawing every single thing. I'm vectorizing it, meaning you can blow it up to the size of a billboard, or you can shrink it to the size of a tiny business card, and it would look really clean. It would be great on shirts. So I'm doing custom hand drawn designs for people. Maybe that's worth it. Maybe that's what you want. You want to have an entire branding package to make it look, good online, and all your Instagram matches, blah, blah, blah. If that's what your goal is, awesome. If you're like, I can make this for myself on Canva, I can make it on Adobe Express and some of these other, I use GoDaddy Studio, which is another online graphic design app. And I maybe pay $5 to $10 a month for that. That I can make my own, logo, branding. If you're doing your own DIY, make sure you get a PNG format, which is an invisible background format. Make sure it is high resolution. Make sure that you have a vector format, because eventually you will need to pay for someone to vectorize it for you, meaning to make it not pixelated, that you can blow it up to the size of a truck, billboard, bag, and without it being like this distorted thing. So think about that, if that's something that you want to do now, or if that's something you can wait till later. So these are high priority budget items, hey, I need to buy supplies first. Do I need to buy a website first? Do I need to do training first? Do I need to do workshops first? And that's a bigger priority than getting all of my fancy branding done. So think about that. Also write that down. I think a lot of people, they spend thousands of dollars on their website, on their brand, their look, their headshots, and they get me to do their headshots for them and do a full out content day, and I'm doing their website, I'm doing all this, and they're spending all this money. But then they've used all of it up, and they can't use it for marketing, they can't use it for pushing ads, they can't use it for buying supplies, they can't use it for, mailing or packaging or whatever. And so really think through what is high priority for you and your business. So let's say you've written down all of your stuff. inquiry, you need to have already in your brain, how am I going to keep track of people? How am I going to log in people that inquire about my services or want me to do something for them? If you're a service-based business, you need to have something like Jotform, which is a free online forms collector. It does appointments. It does taking money from people. I do all of my contracts for my photography stuff in my studio, and I'm booking people. It's a booking site that I can take money from people, and I do that on Jotform. It's really affordable. They also have a lot of free options, and they have tons of contract templates. If you are doing more appointment-based, Square Appointments is a free resource that talks about booking people in specific time slots and making sure that you can get reservations and making sure you get their email and phone number, because what happens day after day after day, a lot of my students, they finally book someone, but then they cancel, and then they have all this, like, I took off for this, and I got a babysitter to have this person, and now they're not even showing up. So that's not good. We want a really good system to collect their information, to get their name, to get their Facebook name, to get their Instagram tag, to get their email, to get their phone number, because now you have a collection of data that you can go a month later. Father's Day is coming up, Mother's Day is coming up, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, whatever, and you can start texting your clients directly, messaging them, tagging them on Facebook, emailing them directly, some of your plans, your sales, your services, your promotional things, because getting those return and repeat clients throughout the year is so important. I cannot tell you how many people come to me and like, I can't find work, I can't find. I'm like, it's Mother's Day, you should be cooking. Don't you have any of these people in a Excel spreadsheet or, you know, a texting group or whatever? I'm like, I don't know how to do that, I didn't protect their information. You need to have a system of collecting data. As soon as they inquire about you, you have some kind of paper trail so that you can keep these clients on your mailing list. Personally, for me, I would, back in the early days when I was doing a lot of weddings, people would sign up to view the photos. I would take that information, and now they became on my mailing list. What we do have a mailing list situation when people like contact us via our website, so they go into a mailing list. Also, now I just become friends with people on Facebook. And so now if I have a particular sale going on or my husband has some kind of whatever, I'm blasting at our friends, his friends, all of the business pages. And usually we don't have a problem because we have like 10,000 plus people on all of our Facebook, social media, whatever. And so we have a system that works for us. You have to find a system that works for you. And 70 to 75% of people are most likely going to click on a text message versus an email. So maybe that might be something that you can look into just by sitting there once a month, directly texting your clients or signing up for a SMS contact situation. It does get expensive, but you can look through some of these like GroupMe that do group texting, Band, like some of these texting apps you can use for school or whatever, or religious organizations or nonprofits or some of these things. That there's a lot of resources out there for SMS texting. We are going to talk more about marketing, photography, what service to use, all that stuff next time on our week 3 Lady Boss series. Today was just getting your feet wet in the website, some things to think about. I knew I threw a whole bunch of information at you, but all of this stuff is reiterated on my ladybossresources.com page, where you can snoop around, pick my brain. You can see my entire IG strategy course on there, my entire full-time marketing strategy on there. I know it's geared for photographers, a lot of that stuff, but you can really think through like, oh, I could do that, or I could do that marketing thing, or I could do that, and a lot of it's free or cheap apps. So please go on there. We'll see you next time, guys, and God bless.